Alright guys, what we got here today is a 2000 Chevy 2500 6-liter motor 4L80E trans. This was towed in, didn't move that good. To me it seemed like it has a clogged filter. So we got the okay to pull it and do the teardown inspection. Let's see what we're going to find. Alright, a couple of things on this transmission first. This would be your input sensor and your output sensor. The R&R guy probably just took them out. The wires were attached to them. So it's the TIS and the TOS. Rain sensor, which is going to come off. And of course this is the updated design. Has the cooler line back here which goes into the center support. On the earlier ones, lines were here and here. Alright, so let's pull this thing apart. Let's see what we find. Okay, so the first we got is the transmission range sensor. And again, just like with the 4L60Es, with the range sensor, there is a lip that gets developed from the lever that goes on. So it's a good idea to take a file or a whiz wheel and just clean the lip off, because you want the switch to slide off with no problem. If you start prying it off, you distort the inside, and then pry it back on, you'll distort it, and then it will not read correctly. So this should just slide off. I actually cleaned it already a little last night. Slide off just like that, nice and easy. That's what you want. Okay, next we got the O-ring for the torque converter here. Alright, while we are here, let's pull these pump bolts out. Let's see if I can get them with this. Alright, I'm going to flip it up, take the pan off. We're going to do what we normally do. We're going to chunk this thing down first, and then we'll go through a couple of things. Fluid looks, doesn't smell the greatest. But it looks like it's burnt up. Okay. Now look at that. Pan is all black. Fluid stinks. So this thing's probably going to be in pretty bad shape. Actually, let's get rid of this for now. This is a reusable gasket. Okay, here is the filter. Alright, now we're going to disconnect the harness as carefully as we could, without breaking the tabs. These tabs get very brittle. But down here we have the two shift solenoids, the manifold switch, EPC, and lockup. So let's try to be very careful. Right, this lockup has tabs on two sides. This has one right in the middle. Now let me stand on this side. Okay. Then we'll take it out of the holders. And then we have the two shift solenoids. Try to be very careful. All right. And then this one also has two tabs, one on each side. Let's get this manifold switch out. Everything's being stubborn today. Alright, you know what? Let me get this. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, let's get the tube out of the way. Okay, there's the manifold switch. Now let's get the shift solenoid. There's one side. Okay, got it. I'm going to flip this around. Alright, now I'm going to take the valve body off. But you know, before I take the valve body off, I'd just like to mark where these go. Okay. Clicker off. Okay, so now we need an 8mm and take the manifold switch off. That goes through all the way to the case, so he's going to have to come off too. Okay, here's the manifold switch. That'll have to be cleaned up. A little dirty in there, and here's the valve body coming off. Alright, we'll put this aside for now. This houses your third and fourth accumulator. Alright, we'll take this out. This is the piston for the band, like the manual 2. That's what that looks like. take this is for the reverse band. Okay, this is the reverse band, and this is also like the, I believe this is like a 1-2 accumulator, and this all takes rubber seals here, and the spring goes here, and that's what it looks like. It sits inside this housing, and it has a metal gasket. Alright, now we got to take the check balls out. We have one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Early ones would take a check ball in this pocket, but the later ones, they had eliminated that. I believe they had changed the spacer plate and eliminated that check ball. Get rid of some of the oil. Okay. All right, now the next thing we're going to take out, the bolt for the overdrive and the bolt for the center support. The one for the overdrive is a T40. The one for the center support is a 3/8 12 point. Let me just grab those sockets off my toolbox. Okay, so this is the T40. And I'm going to take it out. We'll put this one out. Okay. Here's that bolt. It has a feed hole through it. So when you air check it, you can air check it right through the bolt. And this is 12.3/8 for the center support. That's in there a little tight. This also has a feed hole through it. And you can air check it once this is in and tight. You air check it through the bolt. Okay, so we got all this out. You know what we're going to do? Let's take the harness out, and I take that out the same way as the 4L60s. Has 4 tabs, so I just kind of bend. I hold some pressure on it. I believe there is probably a tool for it. I'm sure there is. There's a tool for everything. But I hold some pressure on it. Bend the tabs in, hopefully without breaking them. Down it comes. Okay. And everything looks good. Alright, now we are going to, we got the O-ring off, we got the pump bolts out. Let's take the pump out. out a lot easier than that. Okay, let me just get another screwdriver. Okay. This is the pump. We're going to open this up in a little bit. Here is your overdrive planet. Small overdrive clutches are housed in here. You got two sealing rings here. And there's also a spray in there. This is your overdrive housing. And you need a special tool to, you take this apart, you need a special tool to put this back together with the lip seals. I have that. Maybe I'll even do a short video on putting that together. Okay, and this here, let's take the bearing off. Bearing, actually, show you where it goes. Oh boy, not good. Huh. This looks like the pressure plate, or part of it. Anyway, this bearing goes here. This bearing goes right there. Now, looks like that direct clutch is completely shot. I'll have that out in a second. Let's take a look at this forward clutch. This is the hub. You have a plastic washer here, which I replaced with a metal one. And then you have another metal one on this side. Okay, wave steel looks intact. Clutches are burnt, so they are going to be changed. As far as the strum goes, there is a molded piston. The two of the small rings right in here, you want to make sure that there are no grooves. It's nice and smooth. Alright, let's see if I can get this thing out. This thing's a mess. And here's the band. And here's a bunch of pieces from the pressure plate. Wow. Let's get this snap ring off. And here's a piece of the friction. The other piece. And here's all the little pressure plate, because this is it looks like it busted right out of the center of the pressure plate. Here's all the little pieces. And some of these things are jammed in here pretty good.